So today I'm going to talk about grains and legumes. Previously I spoke all about gluten. Today I'm going to talk about grains and legumes. And the first thing that we're going to look at is that they contain lectins. And a lectin is a carbohydrate binding protein which combines two carbohydrate molecules together. And the first thing between the grains and the legumes is they contain a lectin called prolammin. Now prolammin is a protein that you can find in quinoa, in corn, and in oats. And they are supposed to be safe prolammins. But what happens if you are an autoimmune patient or you are immune compromised? They damage the gut and stimulate the immune system. So prolammins on those three products that you can eat, they tend to create havoc in your immune system. Then also to remember that prolammins behave remarkably like the protein that you find in gluten. So, and if you are autoimmune and if you are inflammatory stimulated, then your body's already pretty much up in arms when it sees gluten. So you don't want to then start eating stuff that has similar effect than gluten. Then you get prolammins. Then you get agglutinins. That's also a problematic protein that you find, and they give the gluey effect to your legume and your grain. So, it makes it like gluey. And then it's also shown that agglutinins can, cause a leaky gut, and it can disrupt your immune system. Now remember, when you are already autoimmune compromised, then this just gets worse. Then also agglutinins, which we now see is not a great protein to have, they are found in seeds. So they prevent the seed from being digested. So, and if you swallow a seed completely, then agglutinins are the reason why it won't digest. So it can't really be very great for your digestive system. So between prolammins and agglutinins, one's getting a lot of toxins in, and it creates an inflammatory effect whenever you eat grains or legumes. So the best thing to do in an autoimmune situation is to stay away from grains and to stay away from legumes because of the prolammins and the agglutinins in it. The other thing is seeds were basically weren't made to be digested. The whole goal is to survive and stay intact when you eat it, and then get eliminated and then be able to grow into another legume plant or grain bearing plant. So your body doesn't really, not supposed to be able to digest it. So seeds, and therefore seed bearing plants such as grains and legumes. So now we're talking about nuts, we're talking about seeds, talking about grains, talking about legumes. They actually contain amylase inhibitors. Now what is that? That is an enzyme in your body that's supposed to break down your carbohydrates, but now the seeds will block it. And it also contains protease inhibitors. Seeds, seed-bearing plants, grains, legumes, they prevent your body to break down proteins. So now between your protease inhibitors, which doesn't want to break down protein, your amylase inhibitors that don't want to break down carbohydrates, these enzymes are hardy substances, and they can even survive when you cook them. So these enzyme inhibitors can actually also activate your innate immune system, and so recognize that your body wants to produce antibodies. So the scientific term for lectins, which we've now learned is not a great thing to digest, is anti-nutrients, because they actively interfere with your body's ability to absorb these nutrients. So the end of the day, when you're an autoimmune compromised patient, or like me who's an RA patient, then the best is now to stay away from grain and seed bearing plants and legumes and nuts, because of all the lectins that it produces and all the agglutinins it produces, because all those things, your body, all those foods have got effects on digesting food and then triggering your body to want to go into an inflammation situation. So at the end of the day, it is fine to eat plants with seeds, but seeds like berries and bananas, because those seeds are very small, they will survive the ride through your body and then obviously get eliminated at the end of the day, and they won't release all their toxins, and you don't chew them, and all those problematic chemicals won't be released in your body. But if you have an autoimmune condition, or you are anywhere on the spectrum of autoimmune disease, it's best rather than to avoid this, because you need to heal your gut, and those things want to obviously create a leaky gut, and you have to cool down the inflammation and try and be symptom free and no longer take immunosuppressants or biological medications. And as soon as you keep taking those, it doesn't cool down the inflammatory part of your body. Then also very interesting, there's a group of food group that they call nightshade vegetables, and they are tomatoes, and they are all kinds of peppers and aubergines, and also potatoes. Now, what is the story? First of all, you find a lectin in tomatoes, which is again an agglutinin, and that is actually used in vaccines because it stimulates the production of antibodies. Now, we're already in high alert with antibodies. Our bodies are already producing innate antibodies against all the stuff that we're eating. We're already in high alert. We already have inflammation. It's all like an antibody reaction that your body's got. So for now, you stay away from it. Yeah.